Welcome back to the Sim Racing Show, your one-stop shop for everything in the world of sim racing, and it's a pretty exciting time in sim racing. We've had a long-awaited sim come into open access. We've had a big update come to an existing sim, one of the biggest updates in a long time, and lots of other stuff going on as well. I'm going to let you know my thoughts, and there is some news in the world of Fanatec. I haven't done a separate video on it, but I'm going to let you know what's going on in the sim racing show. So I'm going to start with the new sim, and that's Rennsport. So it's an ambitious sim. It's now exited closed beta and it's now available to everyone. It's in open beta, but it's not quite that simple. Let me explain. So you need to go on the Epic Game Store if you want to download it. You can download it for free. I've done that. You're then presented with 3 options in terms of getting more access by paying more money. The lowest tier gives you the Nordschleife. Then you get tiers that give you not NFTs, but evens. And then you have another tier that gets like your name on a track or like a founder's track. And it's very, very, very highly monetized from the start. And I found it a little bit off-putting, but I actually really enjoyed driving the game. It's not a sim. It's not a sim like iRacing or Le Mans Ultimate. It's pretty insulting to iRacing or Le Mans Ultimate to compare them with Rennsport, in my opinion. Rennsport is like, for me, Gran Turismo Sport, really on PC, with much better graphics and much better quality of life features. So big fan of Rennsport in terms of just that quick online racing. Don't like the monetization. It's an Unreal Engine 5 game. I'm about to try it on VR and see what that's like. It might be terrible, might be okay. It's got properly licensed cars. It's got some really cool tracks. It says, of course, that Evo's coming down the tracks though. Is it going to compete with that? I don't know. I think Rennsport could really flop. I really do. And I think they should have released it earlier in this sort of open model, because the core gameplay, all they really needed was one track and one car. And I think people would have been able to see, oh, hang on, this is quite a fun racing game. But now it's coming out this late in the day, the competition is just going to be insane for it. So that's my thoughts on Rennsport. Now, talking about an existing sim, that's Gran Turismo 7. Big update. Remember, they delayed the June update that I let you know about, and they rolled it into a July update that's actually coming out at the end of July, right at the end. And they are adding a new track. I thought it might be Montreal in Canada because that's where they were doing their big esports event. It's not. It's like a Nordwand. That's a fictional track from the older Gran Turismo games, GT HD, GT5, GT6. It's going to be incredible to play in VR, but it's not. I've got to be honest here. It's not the track I was hoping for. I want real world tracks in Gran Turismo. There's enough incredible real world tracks I want to drive in Gran Turismo. I don't feel the need to dive into these fictional tracks. That's just my view on that personal preference. There's also 6 new cars coming, which are basically all old school cars. So the new one is a Genesis VGT. No one really cares about that. Sorry, Genesis. Please don't take that personally. And then there's an old Lamborghini Gallardo, an old rough Porsche, an old Ferrari 430, an old BMW M3, and an old Subaru Impreza rally car. So lots of fan service. It's like a retro update. And for me, that's kind of the opposite direction I want Gran Turismo to go in. I want Gran Turismo to go into the future like it did with GT Sport, where it really was the cutting edge. I don't think Gran Turismo is the cutting edge of anything right now. And that really pains me because Gran Turismo is really a part of me. I think it has a soul. It's been a big part of this channel. And I want to see Gran Turismo go to glory, go to greatness. And I think they've done that in the past with stuff like GT Academy, GT Sport, GT2. But what is their thing now? And I don't think it's VR, by the way, because like I said, I really do think Gran Turismo have abandoned VR. And by that, I mean, they're not pushing new updates. They've never updated VR. They did it at launch of PSVR 2. And there's been no update since. They've abandoned the update. So it's a real shame because I see in the comments a lot of people really enjoy Gran Turismo 7 and PSVR 2. Talking about Euro Truck Simulator now, I saw your comments. A lot of you guys and girls do Euro Truck Simulator. There's a new electric Scania coming in the game. So you can do an electric truck. I'm personally intrigued by that because I've got my sequential shifter. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. My sequential shifter. I'm going up and down the gears. So with electric truck, will it have no gears? I don't know. I'll have a look. I'm going to get back on that with the big old truck whim on my Moser. New track coming to iRacing, which is Oswego Speedway. So it's just launched. It's dropped a dirt layout. I think I've already been on it actually. One of those crazy wing cars. But interesting they're bringing it. iRacing just has like DNA and like dirt circuits. Like fair enough. And do you know what the biggest racing game of the moment is? I'll pause. I'll let you guess. Nope. It's, well, maybe if you got it right, it's Forza Horizon 4. It's just been announced being delisted. Obviously set in Scotland. I kind of enjoyed playing Forza Horizon 4 on a gamepad. A kind of just casual game after work, just going around racking up the points. I just find it so interesting that these casual games are where the players are. 75,000 concurrent players on Steam. Crazy. Forza Motorsport, by the way, is on about 1,000 most of the time when I'm checking. So this is like 75 times as popular as Forza Motorsport. Absolutely crazy. And this is the old Forza Horizon. So I just find it interesting that, you know, I've got to think of sim racing and racing in a wide spectrum. You have the hardcore sims, but you also go over to games that are sort of experiencing driving the cars, where the cars are accurately modelled, they sound nice, but they might not have insane physics and tyre wear and everything. And at that end, you got stuff like Forza Horizon, you got stuff like Test Drive Unlimited. So that's why I'm interested in that end of the spectrum. So I'm interested in all ends of the spectrum of sim racing. Fortnite has teamed up with NASCAR. Amazing, great. Talking more about Gran Turismo just a little bit. There are Sophy AI enhancements coming as well. That is something where Gran Turismo can try and be at the forefront. We know Forza Motorsport, the big competitor to Gran Turismo, really hyped up its AI, but you tell me if you've noticed it. I don't think it's a particularly strong point. Gran Turismo Sophy AI is a strong point, and they're launching on 2 new tracks, the Nordschleife, which is quite important, and Largo Maggiore. It does just really irritate me though with Gran Turismo. It's like, in the quest of perfection, they are doing it track by track in a piecemeal way. The same with weather. The best update that could have come for Gran Turismo, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments, by the way. And please, if you're not subscribed, if you've seen a few of these, just subscribe now. I know so many of you are and you really enjoy it. The update that I would have been so much better than the one they've announced in July is if they just said weather is coming on every track and Sophy AI is coming on every track. Like, those 2 things for me would be huge, because the amount of gameplay I'm going to get from that, I'm immediately going to go to Barcelona with Sophy and see what happens when it rains. I'm immediately going to go to Brands Hatch. I'm right that second going to go to Interlagos and see what happens when it rains. So Gran Turismo, I know you guys watch these videos. Come on, let us know what's going on there. Hope you enjoyed the sim racing show. Do I have anything else to tell you about in the world of sim racing? There's some exciting news. Oh, I promised you about Fanatec. I promised you. Okay, there's been an interesting video that's come out on Fanatec that purportedly shows workers in the Chinese Fanatec factory on protesting or something like that. Got a banner up, they're protesting. I think it might be about workers' rights. This is being paraded by Thomas Giacomo and the usual shareholder crew, showing that Fanatec right now is in deep trouble. I found the whole thing deeply ironic, because when I did the interview with Thomas Giacomo when he was still the CEO, and I followed up, and when I was doing the videos earlier saying, you know, the customer service is not great, there was a lot of people saying, oh, you're talking down on Fanatec, oh, you know, this is unnecessarily negative, stop being negative, blah, blah, blah. Those same people now are sharing these videos and saying that, oh, Fanatec really is in trouble, because they're on the Thomas Giacomo shareholder side. I'm not on any particular side here. I'm just reporting the news as it happens, whatever side it is. When Corsair announced the takeover, I'll report that. When Thomas Giacomo, you know, goes to China, I'll report that. I don't have a benefit in this. I don't have an interest. I don't have any shares or shorts or anything like that. So I find that interesting. I wonder what the circumstances of that coming out are. But the thought I want to leave you with on that is that this sort of like Thomas Giacomo shareholder side, the people who don't like the new owners, whether that's hedge funds or Corsair or the new management, they're very happy to share all this stuff. And you'll see in my videos when I'm talking about, oh, you know, let's do a video on maybe Corsair is a good thing for Fanatec. What does that sound like? They shoot it down and it gets banned from Facebook and Reddit, and all the comments are like, this disgraceful video. The videos that they're posting of Fanatec being in shambles now, I don't think it helps their cause. Like, the more Fanatec is in a shambles, the less likely it is to actually just come out of this in any shape or form. Like, there's so much competition now. You can see here, I've got my Fanatec on the wall there. My thrust muscle. Look how similar these 2 wheels are. Like, they look from this range very similar. There's a lot of competition in sim racing, and I just think, ironically, the group that thinks they're going to save Fanatec by taking it away from this bankruptcy, which is 100% a questionable process, they're actually hurting it the more they do it, which I find interesting. But anyway, I'm just reporting on on both sides. There'll be more news on Fanatec in the future. But yeah, there we go. That's the sim racing show. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.